In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a stencil and spray paint to apply a design to the front of a fencing mask. Before I paint the mask, I remove the bib and all of the straps and padding. This is easy as I have a Leon Paul X-Change mask, but if you have a traditional mask or a horsebows mask, you'll just have to use a little more painter's tape and old newspaper. I also remove the old paint job with some citrus strip. I start by taping off any Velcro or metal brackets that I don't want to get any paint on. I then lightly spray the inside of the mask with black paint to improve visibility while wearing it. Then, I apply tape to the rubber rims where different parts of the mesh meet up. I'm using pretty wide tape, so I have to trim the excess with a box cutter. I then stuff the whole thing tightly with newspapers and tape up the back so that as little paint as possible gets onto the inside. I then cut out the stencil that I printed out. I only have to cut out half of the design because it's symmetrical and I'll just flip the stencil over to mirror it. I didn't get video of it because my phone died, but at this point I spray the entire outside of the mask with 2 coats of whatever I want my primary color to be. In my case, that color is white, and I use a paint and primer combo spray. Then I begin taping over the entire rest of the mask. As I'm doing this, I smooth the tape down as much as possible to make sure it forms a tight seal across the surface of the mask. I then draw a guideline for the eyes, and then put the mask in my mask overlay to ensure that I'm lining everything up properly. While it's still in the mask overlay, I put down some starting points from which I can trace the rest of the design. I then start tracing the stencil. If I mess up at all, I can just cover up the mistake with more painter's tape. I then begin cutting out the design. As I do this, I go along and double check that the tape is still holding firm to the mask along the edges of the design. I then spray paint the design itself with black paint. I go over very lightly because I don't want the paint to leak or drip past the tape at all. I end up doing this in 2 coats. After it's sufficiently dry, I remove all of the tape that I added after painting the mask white. And I go over it with a clear coat. Here's the final product.